concept on globalization. What is globalization, the merits, the demerits, the essential conditions, etc. Moving on to the second part of the unit, multinational company or MNCs. What is a multinational company? A multinational company is the one which operates in 2 or more countries. It is a company which controls production, marketing and other facilities in many countries. Now, we have come across MNCs and most of our countries' businesses all moves on in terms of or through the mode of multinational company, correct? So what exactly is a multinational company? A company whose existence is more than 2 or more countries, okay, and all the facilities are operating in various countries. What are the facilities? Production facility, marketing, financing, right? So all these facilities are operating in a different countries. Such companies are termed to be called as multinational company. Now here on the picture we can see that there are a list of companies that you can relate to, okay, which are currently the top MNCs in India. We have Microsoft to start with, IBM, Nokia, Pepsi, Ranbaxy, that is a pharmaceutical company, Nestle, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, that is P&G, Sony and Citigroup, right? Now what you can see on the list of 10 companies over there, mostly you can see belonging to food industry, correct? Pepsi or Nestle or Coke, these comes under the food and beverages industry. Microsoft, Nokia, IBM comes under the software or technology industry, right? Sony, Citigroup, these are all banking and technical. Only one pharmaceutical industry, that is Ranbaxy, okay. Now here you can see these are the top MNCs that operates at least in India, okay. Let's look why and how did these MNCs or these companies grew up to be a multinational company. The number one reason is innovation. What do you mean by innovation or innovate is to create, right? Is to create or recreate something new, discover something new. So these companies are strong in innovation, correct? So they have the adequate research and development facilities. With help of this R&D department, these companies focus upon developing new products and services, right? Or for the existing product, they can come up with a new design and relaunch it. So that is the strongest the scope of every multinational that we just came across. The second reason is market facilities. Now definitely MNCs enjoy a number of market superiorities. As I just told, they are innovators or creators, right, or designers of products and services. Now because they are pioneers in a particular industry, software, technical or food industry, beverage industry, they have the always superiority in particular market, okay. Compared to domestic market, these MNCs, as I read all those 10 different companies, I'm sure all of you have purchased a product about it or using a particular service in all those 10 companies displayed over here. I'm sure all of you can relate, correct? Maybe even my first phone was a Nokia phone. So I can connect with those companies that has been listed over there. So what we are trying to tell here is, over the domestic or locally produced products and services, these multinationals always have a higher authority in the market facilities, right? So these include, what do you mean by other market facilities? It informs reliable market information, right? It is because every day the market changes, right? There are new trends that are starting, not just with fashion or textile industry. It can be with food and beverages. It can be with the marketing techniques. There's something new every day in the market, right? People change, the markets change, the behavior of people change, right? The taste and preferences of people or certain crowds in a particular countries keep on changing. Okay, so that becomes a very reliable information for companies. So number one is the reliable market information. Next is effective advertising goodwill. Now, as much as you advertise, as much as you have a new product or you have innovated a particular service or a product, it is equally important for companies to advertise. So MNCs have another upper hand in effective advertising goodwill and effective warehousing facilities. That is also important. When do you launch your product? There is also timing in launching your product, correct? Because you need to see the behavior of a market, right? The price rises or increase in price, decrease, or the currency fluctuations. Keeping all this in picture, you need to launch your product on the right platform and even in the right timing, for which you need a good warehousing facilities. Number three, technological advantage. Now, these multinationals are always rich in advanced technologies. You can see them, all the companies that we just discussed, they are always moving ahead in the future, right? They're not thinking about the present situation, right? They're thinking about 5 years down the line, what can the company face? Okay, 10 years down the line, what would be the new challenge the company has to face? Therefore, these companies are always rich in advanced technologies. Now, because they're financially strong, right, their financial resources are rich, the MNCs can enable those amount of finance to be invested in research and development in order to advance their technology. Only when companies, these companies especially MNCs, invest a lot of amount in R&D department, which is research and development, because only this department will lead the company to understand what are the new changes in the market and also to prepare for them and also to understand what are the challenges they might face in the future. The fourth one is financial superiority. Now, definitely compared to domestic companies or international companies, MNCs are very rich in financial background, right? It can be with their capital structure or it can be with their fixed assets. They are financially very strong. So, also they use every rupee or every currency of their amount very efficiently or very effectively, because they have very easy access to external capital markets, because anytime, because of their established market, because people know the performance of the company, people know the standards the company maintain. Even if today Nestle has, let's say, a financial shortage, do you think they're going to struggle continuing their business? Right? Definitely no. Companies like Reliance or Nestle or Coke or Pepsi, they never have this financial crunch. Even if they have some crisis, they always have an access of capital market, right? Where they raise long-term capital for the business. Number 5, availability of capital. So, as I just mentioned, they have access, right, to capital markets, and of course they can easily raise money or raise capital because of their good reputation, of the goodwill and the good customer relationship that they have maintained, all these companies. So these companies can easily avail the capital from various sources, because they're not only operating in one country, okay, because they operate in multiple nationalities. So even if finance is not available in one country, they always have an advantage over in other neighboring countries. So they always have the availability of capital at a cheaper cost, okay, because they're operating in many countries. One country, the availability of capital is there, it is ready, but the cost of raising that capital might be very high. The same capital, if you go to another neighboring country, right, and when you apply in the market, you might get the same capital for a lesser cost, isn't it? So that way MNCs are also beneficial or rich in accessing the capital. Point 6, avoiding tariffs. MNCs prefer to invest directly in a country in order to avoid import tariffs or quotas that the company may have to face if it produces the goods at a home country and then ship them, right? Now here, for example, let's say a number of foreign automobile and truck manufacturers which have opened the plant in the US base in order to avoid restrictions on selling foreign made cars, okay. Now we have the automobile industry, who are the key leaders over there, right? We have Fiat, we have Hyundai, right? We have Volkswagen, right? These are entering different countries around the world, not with the products but with technology and capital. So that way these multinationals plan in such a way so that they can avoid all this tariffs, quotas and all the other charges that government applies on these companies or imposes on this particular multinational company. The seventh major reason is symbiotic relationship. Some firms have followed clients who have made foreign direct investment. Now definitely this is especially true in case of accountancy and consultancy firms. Now here, even as these companies establish their business in let's say 5 countries or 10 countries or 20 countries, they try and establish a good relationship with all the other companies or other co-leaders in the industries, right? Now how does it help them? It helps them to open their offices, right? Helping them to know the parent company, the needs, the practices, right? And to understand their clients in a better manner, right? So when and how these companies move on and expand into other countries, it helps them to build a better rapport or a better goodwill or a reputation with the other companies or key players in the industry. Got it? So these are the 7 different, one of the major reasons why multinationals are existing today. The reasons are innovation, number 1. Number 2 is the market facilities in terms of information, advertising, goodwill, etc. Third is technological advantages, because they are rich in finances and they can invest in R&D and see what they can improve in technology terms. Number 4 is financial superiority, that is MNCs are always rich in financial resources. Number 5, availability of capital. Even if they have a financial crunch, these MNCs can always opt for or they have an access for the external capital markets. If not in one country, they can move to another country. Number 6, avoiding tariffs. That is, in order to avoid all this import tariffs and quotas, they always invest directly into another country's business. And number 7, symbiotic relationship. So they establish a good reputation or relationship with their clients, or their branches where they open across countries and nations. Understood? So today we have discussed what is an MNC and what are the reasons for the growth of MNC.